Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back.
Yin was sitting in front of her vanity mirror, gazing around the bedroom she would now call home starting tonight. Yes, she had just married her stepfather's business associate. It seemed her already complicated life was about to become even more complicated starting tonight. However, deep down, she hoped that this marriage would be everlasting and bring happiness to both her and her husband. Her current fate was to serve as collateral for her stepfather's debts. In reality, she had been sold to her husband under the guise of marriage. Yet, Yin willingly went through with it, remembering her beloved mother. She was fully aware that a lot of her stepfather's money had gone towards treating her mother's chronic illness. This was one of the reasons her stepfather borrowed money from Jungkook, who was also one of his business associates. Yin recalled her mother's tearful advice the day before her wedding. "Forgive me, Yin. I couldn't cancel your wedding because your stepfather owes a lot of money for my treatment. Still, I pray that you will be happy with your husband, and I beg you to find happiness with him. Don't worry about me, Mom. I'm grown and can take care of myself. I'm grateful to have a stepfather who truly loves you." Yes, her stepfather genuinely loved her mother and cared for her, and for that, Yin was thankful. As for not fully accepting her, Yin understood, knowing she was not his biological daughter. Even though her stepfather couldn't wholeheartedly accept her, he still treated her fairly well. Since he had no children of his own, he had no choice but to accept Yin into his life. So, if he was ruthless enough to use her as collateral, Yin wasn't surprised. If she were his biological daughter, he might have been more hesitant. But Yin knew she wasn't his blood. Yin's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of the bedroom door opening, revealing Jungkook stepping inside. She watched from a distance as her husband looked at her sharply. Despite being 5 years older, Yin had to admit that her husband was indeed handsome and attractive. She sighed, got up and walked calmly towards him. With a faint smile, Yin helped him remove his suit, showing her initial act of care for her husband. Already arranged and now married to him, Yin planned to make the best of it, because it was all she could do now. She hoped that, little by little, her actions would bring happiness to their marriage. After all, she dreamed of a happy home. "Would you like me to prepare some warm water for your bath?" "Yes, please." "Alright, just a moment." Yin immediately went to the bathroom to prepare the warm water while Jungkook observed his wife's movements as she entered the bathroom. The warm water was nearly full and Yin had just added some drops of liquid soap for her husband's bath. Suddenly, she felt a pair of strong arms wrap around her waist. Without needing to turn around, she knew the owner of those hands was none other than her husband, Jungkook. Soon, she felt his breath between her neck and ear, followed by his kisses there. She felt nervous, but she tried to stay calm, knowing this was their first night together. No husband would want to miss this moment. Slowly, Yin turned around to face him. Tonight, she wanted to be a good wife. Her hands circled around his neck, giving him her best smile. Watching her movements, Jungkook smiled faintly before landing an intense kiss on her lips. "Is the warm water ready?" "Yes, it's ready. Let's bathe together." "But I've already bathed. You know I want more than just a bath. Serve me tonight." With that, Jungkook captured her lips again, not giving her a chance to protest further. Their activities continued from the bathroom to the bedroom. This morning, they had breakfast together. The maids had prepared their meal. Yin sat across from Jungkook, separated by the dining table. On her neck, chest and parts of her body, the hickeys from their heated activities last night were still visible. Jungkook glanced at the marks for a moment before resuming his meal in silence. Yin also ate quietly, unable to shake the awkward atmosphere that still lingered between them. Suddenly, "I'm ready. I'm heading to work now." Yin quickly got up and followed her husband to the front door of their house. Jungkook left without giving Yin a kiss. Okay, this morning was not what Yin had imagined. She had hoped her husband would give her a kiss before going to work, but it didn't happen, and not just today. Day after day, what she had hoped for never came true. Every day, Jungkook went to the office silently and returned without giving her a kiss. Yes, it turned out that Jungkook only kissed her when they were intimate. Outside of that, it never happened. Day after day passed, and it had been almost 2 months since they married. Nothing had changed. Yin had tried to be warm towards her husband, but Jungkook still responded coldly, speaking only when necessary. While Yin was grateful that her husband never got angry or ignored her, his cold demeanor gradually began to bother her. She wanted positive development in their marriage. Yin was fully aware that their marriage was not based on love but rather to settle a debt. Still, since it had already happened, there was nothing Yin could do but try to cultivate happiness in their household. Deep down, she truly wanted Jungkook to be warmer towards her. But how? At home, Yin had tried to be a good wife, always available whenever Jungkook was in the mood for intimacy. She never refused. hoping it would make her husband happy. However, it seemed that this approach was not enough to melt her husband's icy heart. Until one day, as usual, Yin escorted her husband as he left for the office. Once his car was out of the driveway, she called over one of the guards standing nearby. "Is there something you need, ma'am? A special package will be arriving soon. I've purchased something and I'd like you to bring it directly to me when it arrives." "Understood, ma'am." After giving these instructions, Yin went back inside the house. She sat on the sofa, smiling as she envisioned her plan to surprise her husband today. Yes, today was special because it was her husband's 30th birthday. Yin had ordered an exquisite watch, which she had carefully researched to be his favorite brand. She had also booked a table at a luxurious restaurant for their dinner tonight. Everything had been meticulously planned for days to ensure it went smoothly. Today, Yin planned to visit her husband's office in the afternoon, intending to invite him to the restaurant she had reserved for their dinner at 7 p.m. That was her plan for the day. A few hours later, Yin was enjoying the view of the flowers in the yard when a guard approached her and handed her something. "Ma'am, your package has arrived." Yin immediately took the small box, knowing it was the watch she had ordered for her husband's birthday. Excitedly, she went inside to prepare a birthday card and wrap the box beautifully into a special gift. With a heart full of excitement, Yin finally arrived in front of her husband's company building. With confident steps, she entered the building accompanied by a guard who had been with her since they left the house. Yin intentionally knocked on the door before waiting for her husband's response from inside. "Come in." Yin entered the room with a smile, looking at her husband who was now staring at her. She immediately sat down in the chair directly in front of her husband's desk. "What's the matter? It's unusual for you to come here. Are you busy today? What time do you plan to come home?" "Quite busy. I plan to come home around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock p.m. Why? Could you come home earlier, just for today? I still have a lot of work to do." Yin began to think and hesitate, her heart in a dilemma. How? If she told the truth, it wouldn't be a surprise for Jungkook's birthday. But in this situation, what excuse could she use? "Actually, I really want us to have dinner together tonight at a restaurant." "Yin, don't I always take you out to dinner every Sunday? And it's only Tuesday. We just had dinner together at a restaurant 2 days ago. But today is different. I really want to take you out to dinner. But today I'm really busy, Yin. I even have to work overtime until 10 o'clock p.m. Jungkook, please. Aren't the maids at home cooking for you properly? Why do you want to eat out? Don't they cook to your taste?" "It's not that, it's just. If that's the case, then there's no problem. You can still eat at home and there won't be any issues with your taste." After saying that, Jungkook no longer paid attention to Yin, busy continuing to check the papers on his desk, occasionally scribbling on them. Yin kept watching him, but it seemed Jungkook didn't care about her presence anymore. Finally, Yin placed her untouched bag on the table and accidentally knocked over a cup of coffee, spilling it all over the documents Jungkook was currently reviewing. "Oh no, I'm so sorry, Jungkook. I didn't mean to." Jungkook remained silent, seemingly stunned by the mess on his desk. He immediately picked up the phone on the other side of the table. "Kai, please reprint all the documents you gave me this morning so I can review them again." After that, he hung up the phone somewhat harshly. Yin was now genuinely nervous, seeing Jungkook's expression and actions. "Jungkook, I'm really sorry." Jungkook remained silent, but Yin could sense that he was trying to contain his emotions. She stood up, intending to clean up the mess she had made, but before she could touch the table, Jungkook spoke. "Just leave it. I'll call the cleaning service to take care of it. It's okay. I can clean it up myself." "Yin, that's enough. I don't want to get more stressed because of your actions." Yin mustered the courage to look at him, but it seemed he didn't want to be bothered by her. Their eyes met, and she could see the sharpness in his gaze, which was enough to make her heart sink. "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. Whether you meant to or not, this mess has happened, and because of it, I'll have to spend even more time working overtime here." Yin was at a loss for words. She didn't want to make his mood any worse. She stood up from her seat, intending to go home. "All right, I'll go home now. Sorry for disturbing you." After saying that, Yin left his office, leaving him to lean back in his chair, rubbing his temples. Yin was now being driven back home by one of her guards. During the journey, she couldn't stop blaming herself for her careless actions. She could still see the anger on Jungkook's face. That's why, before his anger could explode, she chose to leave his office. She felt like crying now. Today, she had wanted to make him happy, but instead, she had made him angry. She opened her bag again, seeing the small box she had prepared as a gift to give him during their dinner. Today's plans all failed. As she uttered those words, tears began to well up in her eyes. She felt utterly disappointed and regretful about how things had turned out. Jungkook appeared visibly busy checking various documents, occasionally glancing at his laptop while his hands sorted through the papers in front of him. Despite his efforts to concentrate on his work, his mind kept drifting back to the image of his wife, Yin, when she returned home earlier. He couldn't shake off the memory of her sad and frightened expression which had stuck in his mind. Checking the time on his watch, it read 6 o'clock p.m. Finally, without further hesitation, he stood up and prepared to leave. There's no point in working overtime tonight. My concentration is completely shattered. With determined steps, he exited the room and headed towards his car to drive straight home. Jungkook entered the bedroom and didn't see Yin around, but he heard the sound of running water coming from the direction of the bathroom, indicating that she was inside. While waiting for Yin to come out, Jungkook decided to sit on the bed and check his phone. His concentration was interrupted by the repeated ringing sound coming from Yin's bag. Jungkook noticed Yin's bag on the nightstand, and the ringing continued from inside. Curious, he finally took out the phone and saw a call from a well-known restaurant. Jungkook furrowed his brows in confusion, but decided to answer the call. Yes? Sorry. Is this Mrs. Yin? I'm her husband. What's this about? We wanted to confirm if you still have a reservation for a special table for 2 tonight. We need to ensure the menu is prepared before 7 p.m. Jungkook was unsure how to respond. After a moment. Alright. Go ahead with the preparations. Very well, sir. We look forward to welcoming you and your wife. The call ended, leaving Jungkook puzzled. His eyes then caught sight of a small box inside Yin's bag that caught his interest. Jungkook finally took out the contents of Yin's bag and touched the box, which he suspected was a gift. As he read the inscription that indicated it was for him and a birthday greeting for his 30th, Jungkook felt a mix of emotions stirring within him. Immediately, Jungkook was taken aback. A warm feeling spread through his heart along with a pleasant thrill. He suddenly realized that he had turned 30 years old, and Yin wanted to celebrate his birthday. It had been 7 years since he last celebrated his birthday, ever since both of his parents passed away. Many friends and co-workers actually wanted to celebrate his birthday, but he always refused. For him, celebrating birthdays was no longer something joyful, but rather something saddening, because it brought back memories of when his parents were alive. That's why no one, including his employees at the company, celebrated his birthday anymore. It wasn't because they forgot their boss's birthday, but they knew Jungkook disliked celebrating birthdays. To him, his birthdays had lost all meaning, especially to his co-workers and friends. For him, it was all just formality, not out of genuine affection. But now it was different. There was someone who continued to celebrate his birthday, his wife. And this wasn't just a formality. Jungkook knew for sure that she did it out of genuine care as his wife. Finally, without waiting for Yin to come out of the bathroom, Jungkook eagerly and with a smiling face opened the gift that his wife had secretly prepared. Inside, he saw a wristwatch from his favorite brand. There was also a birthday card with a lipstick mark. Jungkook chuckled softly at the lipstick mark on the card. Without hesitation, he immediately took off the watch he was wearing and replaced it with the new one chosen by his wife. Glancing at the time, he saw it was already past 6, approaching 7 in the evening, and his wife still hadn't come out of the bathroom. Just as Jungkook was about to head towards the bathroom to call out to her not to take too long, Yin emerged wearing only a bathrobe. Yin's eyes widened upon seeing that her husband was already in the bedroom, and the gift she had prepared was already unwrapped, its wrappings scattered on the bed. She gazed at his face intently. Now Jungkook stood up and walked towards her. Baby, thank you for this. I really love it. Yin looked at Jungkook's wrist, now adorned with the watch she had bought. Let's get changed quickly. We'll head to the restaurant you booked. How did you know about all this? I couldn't let you go home feeling like earlier. You really distracted me, so there's no point in working overtime. I might as well come home straight away. Yin remained silent, astonished, unable to believe how the day was unfolding. Jungkook continued to gaze at her, still silent, his heart genuinely feeling guilty. Finally, he gently cupped her cheeks in his hands, planning a quick kiss on her forehead, both cheeks, her lips, and her nose. Forgive me for what happened earlier at my office. No, it wasn't your fault. I was the careless one. Forgive me. Right now, I'm feeling so happy. How could I not forgive you? You're really happy? Yes, I'm very happy because now I have a wife who is celebrating my birthday. It's been 7 years since I last celebrated, since my parents passed away. After saying that, Jungkook pulled Yin into a tight hug, embracing her firmly. Let's get ready. I can't wait to have dinner together. Yin just smiled and nodded. She opened the wardrobe and chose her best dress for the evening. Once again, Jungkook hugged Yin from behind. Thank you, baby, for being in my life. Yin simply nodded, her smile widening on her face. He's actually quite kind and appreciates my presence. It's just that sometimes he can be cold. Maybe that's just his nature. If that's the case, I'll start understanding it. Let him be comfortable around me. Over time, he'll surely change, and I know it all takes time. It seems like since marrying him, my patience has really increased. Okay, Jungkook, be thankful you've got a wife as patient as me.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.